So you go in the 5th round. What were your thoughts coming into the season on how much you'd be used?
I thought I was just going to have like a little small bit role. I thought it was going to be like a committee. I thought they might give me like short yardage packages and things like that, but I definitely didn't expect to get this much playing time.
And you didn't play. You didn't get a snap, right? Your first game of the season.
Yeah, the first game I didn't touch the field.
So when was the last time that happened? Because you played as a freshman at UAB. When was the last time that you were dressed out in uniform and didn't play?
The last time that happened when I was dressed out in uniform and didn't play was my first game of my college career at UAB.
So first game, and then of course, much like at UAB, you took off. It wasn't until, I'm going to say, your 4th game when you got to start and you got the ball and you went for over 100 yards. What's that feeling like to go from, we got Stephon Diggs is going to join us, I think, next hour, right? Stephon Diggs it's going to be in 5:40? 5 o'clock, excuse me, Stephon Diggs. He went through the same thing. You know, he didn't play a snap his first game. So to go from week 1, you ain't playing, to week 4, you're the starter, and rush for over 100 yards. What was that like?
It was just very crazy. I knew after the 3rd game when we played Dallas and Jeremy got hurt, I knew I was the only healthy back who knew like the system. I knew I was going to have to put a lot on my shoulders, so I had to prepare all that week. And my coach, he did a great job just preparing me and the other backs. But it was just great getting out there and having the success I did in my first career start.
Yeah, but then they didn't keep starting. You didn't start the whole year. Like you started a couple games and then you came off the bench. Like, what happened?
No, I started the rest of the year. I started the 4th game, and then I started the next game against India. I had another 100 yards. Then we played the Jaguars. I had a subpar game, and then next we had the Packers. I only had like 7 carries, but I started, but I didn't get much playing time in that game because I was kind of struggling.
How'd you get it back?
I kind of got my legs back after the Green Bay game because we had some time off, and then because we played on Thursday night, then we have another game until the next Monday Monday night against the Vikings.
So that rookie wall is real?
I wouldn't say the rookie wall is real. I just need to get my legs back.
You mentioned Tevin Coleman, a guy who you replaced at Indiana. As a running back, you see the field differently. You know his approach. What allows him to be as special as he's been?
He just has great vision and his speed. He's one of the fastest players in the game. He's very dynamic and very quick, and he also can line up well as a receiver and run some of the routes as well as a receiver.
Jordan Howard joining us in the Doug Gottlieb Show on CBS Sports Radio. Any sense for who your quarterback's going to be?
I have no sense. I wouldn't mind having Jay back or any of the other guys because I feel like if anybody had just a chance to just start from the whole season, we could do pretty well. And we just had so many injuries this year. All
right, I hate to dwell on Indiana where you had that 1 year, but Kevin Wilson, your former head coach, he's now left. He's a run game coordinator, I believe, at Ohio State. So he bounced back. He obviously did a great job at Oklahoma before getting the Indiana job. What are your thoughts on him being relieved of his duties?
I was very shocked about it. It kind of came out of nowhere, so I was very surprised about it. But I'm happy he bounced back on his feet and that he's moving on.
Jordan Howard joining us on CBS Sports Radio. Do you consider yourself an IU guy or a UAB guy?
I consider myself both because I wouldn't be here without either one of the programs.
But you growing up in Alabama. Were you a Mike Vick guy back in the day?
Yeah, I was definitely a Mike Vick guy.
So did you ever have a Falcons jersey? Were you a Falcons guy?
I had a Michael Vick. I think I had a red Michael Vick jersey.
Michael Vick was a bad boy, right?
He was.
So it's got to be weird now to be like you grew up and they're completely different than that Mike Vick style when you watch the Falcons now.
Yeah, they're a lot different. The offense, it might be more dynamic now because they have just so many options.
So many weapons, right? I mean, so many weapons. And it's interesting because some of those guys are struggling because they're just not getting as many touches because there's so many guys that have to get touches. You mentioned that you hit the wall. You only got 7 carries against Green Bay. How do you process that when you're playing well and all of a sudden somebody comes in and outshines you? How do you process that?
When you're playing well and another guy comes in and make a big play, it makes you hungrier. It makes you want to come in and make a big play because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. So you definitely try to make the most out of your opportunities. So you definitely try to have big plays every time you're in.